Hello peoples of the tube! Gosh darn it, the figure world moves at a crazy rate. So I got my figures, the sets I've reviewed in hopefully today's video, I got those figures 3 days ago. I recorded the video 2 days ago and edited that extra scene where I was like, yeah, there is a third set. I recorded that yesterday, and I thought it's going to be a while until these videos go up. But I wasn't sure if I was going to get set 3 before the announcement. Obviously, then the announcement came today. I was like, well, there you go. I was right. So that kind of rushed through. Then, like, firstly, usually when I got the last sets, there was a month between that and the announcement. So I thought it was going to be ages. I'm really glad I filmed that one quick, but. So I got the Daleks today. The other two, the set that I didn't have in the last video, it came today. I assumed it was going to come, I don't know, ages into the future. But no, I got them today in the post within like an hour or so of me putting my video up. So now what am I going to do? Well, I'm going to try and calm down a bit because this is slightly too frantic in energy. Let's take a look at them. Why not? Let's just make this is addendum. This is the third set. To be honest, the other video was a bit on the long side, so maybe it's just as well that these are a separate video. I wasn't sure if I was going to make a video about them because I wasn't sure how much there'd be to say, but I've got a little bit to say. It probably won't be a long video. It's not going to be half an hour this time. So, set number 3, we've got Metaltron. These aren't good pictures. I will put, here is 2 pictures. Right, that's the first picture. And that's the second picture. So that's pictures of them in better lighting, just so you get an idea of what they look like. So yeah, we've got Metaltron, Dalek from Dalek. It's specifically the one from Dalek, because in that story it has a gold waistband, and it's not super clear on camera, we'll get to that it's gold rather than bronze, from what was the episode called? The one with the weakest link? Bad Wolf. From Bad Wolf onwards, that's painted the same colour as the main body, and it's just the slats and the hemispheres that are gold. I'm not sure why from a production standpoint. I think it looks better with a bit of difference to it, but anyway, the other figure is Dalek Sec. And yeah, these are 2 characters, the Dalek from Dalek and Dalek Sec. They're 2 characters that technically I did have figures of. And I will produce those for you just now if I can find space. I've not got room to put anything because I wasn't expecting to be filming today. Yeah, we've got the Dalek from Dalek, and we've got Dalek Sec. Original versions. This, I think I got in the summer of 2007. Obviously, the episode is 2006. I think that there was a remote control version. It was 2006 that the figure line properly started. Summer of 2007, I think I got this as a reward for getting prizes in school. And then this one, I don't quite remember. This is a Woolworths figure, exclusive. No, was it? I don't know. Anyway, it's the plain. It's got the handprint on its head, and you warm it up and the handprint disappears. It's the genetic print. They also had the mutant reveal, and I think it was meant to be the same one again. But yeah, so these are 2 quite old figures, and you can tell they're from before 2008, because in 2008 they replaced the Dalek skull. The difference, and I'll take Sec, I think, because he's the most interesting one. The base on the old one, it's not going to show on camera. I have photos of them, the comparison photos, but my phone has a really weirdly distorting lens because it's such a flat lens, so it doesn't really show you much. But basically the difference is the skirt of this one slopes forward a lot more. The gun is comically oversized. The plunger is comically oversized. The eye is comically oversized. The head is flatter. To be honest, they're pretty much a completely different figure. They're wider from side to side. I'm just looking at the footprints. They're similar lengths, but definitely wider. So my understanding is that Character Options based this sculpt, this original one, on photos, and eventually in 2008 they got to measure up the actual models and take proper measurements to get the more accurate version. It was a very long time before I got a figure of the more accurate versions, because I got all my Daleks in sort of 2007, and then nothing at all until, well, it would either have been one of the Paradigm Daleks, or when I started getting the many classic Daleks I have, which was 2010. But yeah, it's nice to have the updated versions of them. The main differences, other than the sculpt, obviously this old Dalek Sec is very old, he's very banged up, he's not been that well looked after. His gun broke one time and I glued it back on. Was it his gun or... no, it might have been his plunger. I don't remember. Something broke and I glued it back on. It was his plunger, and I can see a seam there, just where it was glued back. But yeah, the main other difference is the darkness and glossiness of the skirt is... it's not great lighting. This is... I'm sorry, I didn't know I was going to be the only person that had these this quickly. So I'm really sorry. This is the only review you're stuck with until Matthew Toffolo can get his hands on some, I guess. But yeah, it's slightly darker, slightly shinier. Hi, it's me. It's future Deborah again. Okay, so here's the thing. I've been... Where did I put Dalek Sec? Where's he gone? Where's he gone? Oh no. Okay, yeah, so I was like, hey, isn't it nice how glossy Dalek Sec... His skirt looks so nice. All glossy and... I love a shiny Dalek. Apparently that's wrong. Apparently he should be kind of matte like the original one. So, I didn't know that. I didn't realise. Technically that is wrong, so... Whoopsie! I'd say mostly the changes are for the positive. I'll find a negative for you, because I see one right now. On the original one, the rivets on... Oh, you can see that on the camera actually. The rivets are painted silver on the... these rivets here around the base. They're painted silver. On the new version, they're not. They're just plain black. They're sculpted on, but they're not painted. So I like a little bit of extra detail like that. So that's the one thing I'd say that the original wins. But for the most part, this is just, it's just like a slightly better version of this. I'll be interested to see, there's always a lot of demand for more recent figures. So in theory, this should be quite a good seller, but we've not had a Dalek Sec figure for a while. We've actually never had this new sculpt of Dalek Sec in the UK. America got, back when we had the re-release of a bunch of things, there was Rose Tyler from Series 2, there's Police Amy. The US version of that wave had a Dalek Sec with this new sculpt, and we didn't get that here. I don't know why. So it's nice to have that over here. That feels like a definite upgrade, and this one lives downstairs. This one will go up on top of my wardrobe with the other Daleks. It's only through the grace of the fact I've got clothes piled on the floor that didn't roll right off the thing I just sat him on. So okay, here's the one that's slightly more contentious, I think. The Metaltron. Now here before I get onto what was my main point, the little ID tag. I don't know if that's going to focus in. That's a shame. Oh no, it does. The ID tag has been redone. It's slightly bigger. It's I'll stick some pictures. Old? New! Yeah, they've redone the ID tag from the original version. Yeah, the colours are quite different. And I don't know what I think about that. Again, it doesn't show very well on camera. This one is darker, it's more weathered, which is, I'd say, a plus, because the Dalek, up until, I think, Asylum, when they had to repaint everything back to bronze after they painted them green for Victory. Before then, they were all very weathered and sort of scruffy looking. So having it be darker, having it be slightly weathered, that's definitely a plus. The gold on the old one is more different to the bronze than the gold on this one is to the bronze. I think the gold on this one's a nicer colour, but it doesn't show up quite as well. And the downside to that is kind of that the one in Dalek, like I said, it's the only one where this is gold. So it'd be nice if that was really, really distinctively clear, that you could see it was a different shade of, a different colour to the body. I think, if it was me, I think I would have made this main colour just a touch darker, just a tiny, tiny touch darker. Keep the weathering, I love the weathering. Just to have that slightly higher contrast between the gold and the bronze. It does look better in person than it does in the official announcement pictures, but it could be just a little more high contrast, I think. I think the new bronze colour, the new bronze colour is just ever so slightly different to the old bronze colour. Oh, here's another thing I didn't notice, actually, I just spotted this just now. At the back of the head, on the new sculpt, it's got these little narrow inward panels, and they're not on the original one. I guess because the picture maybe that they based the original sculpt on didn't show that angle of the head. So that's interesting. Yeah, honestly, I've not got an awful lot to say about these, other than the fact, on the whole, they are slightly better versions of figures that I already have. Dalek Sec, I would say, is the biggest improvement. The Metaltron Dalek, I like the fact he doesn't have a big handprint on his head, because that's the fact this, up until today, this was the only standard bronze Dalek I had, because I did have these two from B&M. These are the Big Finish ones. This has black hemispheres and a black head, and this one has silver hemispheres and a silver head. Actually, now see, these ones are even more heavily sort of dirty washed. And I think, do I like that better? I think if we had this one kind of painted up, somewhere in between these two is probably like your ideal Metaltron colour scheme. Well, it is interesting that this one has the gold band as well. But yeah, until... These aren't the new series bronze Daleks, they're just Big Finish Daleks that look a bit like them. Until today, this is the only proper new series Dalek in this colour scheme that I had. And it has this massive whacking great handprint on his head. So it's nice to have one that doesn't have that. It's nice to have one that's got these new, better proportions. Also, the base is a slightly different colour. This one is a darker grey. This is a more sort of silvery grey. It's not as much lighter as it looks, but it's more metallic. Well, this one is not metallic at all. This one is just sort of plain. This might be me cursing my own old eyes, but I'm struggling to tell if the rivets on this one are painted. I don't think they are, but they're catching the light because they're painted metallically, whereas Sec has a matte black bumper, so they can't. It's clearly they've not been painted. It's not as egregious, the lack of rivet painting on this one. Yeah, it's not as much lighter as it looks, but it's metallic, which makes it pick up the light more, and it's slightly less saturated. This has a hint of blue in it. This one does not. So yeah, that's it. I'm not going to talk for too long about this because I rambled for an hour on the other video, and it took me all day to trim that down. I've not really got time. I'm meeting my friend in 25 minutes in town. Yeah, that's the figures for this year. That is, you know what? I'm still not going to say that that's everything from B&M for this year. I genuinely don't know. Will there be more figures? I hope they're not like tomorrow, because this has been a rushed through production. Yeah. It's nice to have these things, isn't it? I hope you enjoy this. I hope you find something more coherent to say about the figures when you get them. If not though, yeah. Have a nice day.